Hey guys, praying on this well. I'm gonna start this video by showing you a clip. This has to do with all that has basically transpired with Trump from when he first ran in office, for office, back in 2015 and whatnot, to the present time. All those times he got sued, he got taken to court. The FBI, the investigations, the January 6th, all of those things in court, while the people that stood by the president kept screaming a new phrase, lawfare. And now here's Jake Tapper, one of those that when the accusations were made against Trump was like, yeah. And now here he is. And listen to what he's about to say. Because this is quite telling and is only a portion. But I'll break it down after he's done.
Have to be, I know you disagree, you're shaking your head, you're going to get the mic in the sack. You don't have to be a member of MAGA to say, you know what, those Peter Strzok, Lisa Page texts were awful. There was FISA abuse. There was that weird thing with Carter Page. I don't know about that Alvin Bragg case where he basically invented a felony. You don't have to be a member of MAGA to look and say, you know what, he does have some legitimate grievances. Here is
That is something I did not expect. For Jake Tapper to come out and say that, yeah. And him not knowingly, he covered from way back 2015 to what just happened right before the election with Alvin Bragg in that case. See, when Donald Trump came down that escalator on June 15th, 2015, the FBI got on him. Once Trump made that headway that he needed into the political arena, some people read the tea leaves and they were like, this guy's a danger. Trump made accusations like the FBI has bugged my office at Trump Tower. This was when Trump was already considered the main candidate in the opposing team, the opposing party, which makes up the American political system. They tapped his phone. They tapped it. The FBI tapped his phone. In the media, we heard how Trump is crazy. That's a lie. Then you heard Tapper bring up Carter Page. That links into the whole Russia conspiracy, also headed up by the FBI. He brought up FISA. Those are the judges that sign off on the warrants from the FBI to tap people's phones. Even up to Americans, they need a warrant. It was a rubber stamp. Those judges would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and not ask no questions, or whatever time it was. Just stamp them. and they were lying to FICE. They were lying to the judges, but the judges weren't asking no questions. All that is real. All that is real. He said Lisa Page and Stroke, those people worked what they call it the 7th floor of the Hoover building, the FBI building. Yeah, they were there. Right above them, McCabe, who lied in front of Congress, and Comey, who is right now being investigated by the FBI. The whole FBI was in it. They caught Lisa Page and Peter Strzok messages. This gets crazy. They were lovers, and they were talking about he ain't gonna be president, right? About Trump after he had already won. And these people were talking about, no, he's not. There's an insurance policy. Make sure he doesn't become president. And the FBI was talking like that. Yeah, he tied it all up. Then brags. That goes all the way into this presidency. He took 2 cases, married them, made them a felony. And that's only, that is just the tip of the iceberg what Jake Tapper. January, every time I get into conversations with somebody, and they say, well, he has to be guilty of something, all those charges. So are you saying that they made up all that stuff up? And I look at them and I'm like, yeah, kind of. That January 6th is so hard to explain because so many people are involved. Every time they bring that up, I just look at them like, I know they ain't gonna give me the time to explain, nor are they gonna believe the depth of that whole thing that went down. So many people involved, organizations. It is crazy. And the only thing I would say is just got a couple of questions. When that whole insurrection thing, one, when have you ever heard of an insurrection where they didn't have no weapons? Number 2, Trump called Pelosi, told her, hey, do you want the National Guard there on January 6th? Days before, she said no. Then my third question is, where are the depositions of the people that got locked up? Where? Ask Benny Thompson from Georgia, that was head of the the January 6th committee. Where are they? Can't find them. Ask him where the tapes are. He said they deleted them. They took that J6 to court and they overturned everything. You know why? Because the committee was formed outside of the guidelines, I guess, as to how such a formed committee gets formed. You're supposed to have X amount of people from the Republicans, X amount of people from the Democrats, blah, blah. They each get this time to do this, to do that. They did none of that. The Democrats didn't do none of that. They kept it all under wraps. When Trump came in office, they got rid of all of it. They say they erased it all. It ain't there anymore. That's what they did. And that, anyway, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. Yeah, but Jake Tapper just came out and admitted, yo, Trump and them, they have a right to be concerned about. See, that's how Jake Tapper's saying it the nice way. You see, because he's a Democrat, he's a good Democrat, he's a good boy. So he has to say it like that. He knows they all knew. They all knew that that was foolishness. And now the hunters are being hunted. The first thing they yelled when Trump won, he's gonna weaponize the DOJ. The exact same thing they had just did to Trump. Because they knew it's coming. But it wasn't about revenge. It was about the fact that they broke the law trying to get that man through lawfare. They broke the law. Judges oversaw statutes and all that because they wanted Trump to lose also. Prosecutors did things that I knew was wrong. And I only play a lawyer when I was on the truck. Those things are called reversible errors. That the minute you see it and you know it's wrong, you're like, oh, this thing's gonna get overturned on that alone. Merchan's case is chock full of those things. He knows they were gonna overturn that case. But he went, and now they're looking into his daughter and how much money her firm made off of the trial that her daddy was presiding over that convicted Trump. They want to see how much money she made. That judge was supposed to excuse himself because of that fact. His daughter is a Democrat bundler, I guess. She works for a super PAC. Asks for money for the Democratic Party. High roller ones like Schumer and them. I'm not sure if it's Schumer, but those elite ones. And I didn't see it, but I could imagine sending out the flyers or whatnot. We need money to continue to the fight to convict Trump in the courts because blah, blah, blah. And the money keeps rolling in. Mm-hmm. That is called conflict of interest. And here's Tapper opening up the curtain a little so you could take a peek in to his brain, and he's letting you know, yeah, we know what's up. And nobody should be happy. That is how we become a Venezuela, a Cuba, a Russia, China. That's how we hit that slippery slope. One day we look up, and all people will remember is this 55-year-old Puerto Rican's voice playing in their head. Anyway, guys, it's all coming out now. God bless. Been a long day. I'm gonna go to bed. Take care of yourselves and be safe.